Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to Family and Finance, where we provide you with free information that will help you in your finances. So today I have with me a vice president. Guys, we are, we're going places now. This is a distinguished vice president of Canada Protection Plan, Noel Mak. I'm just gonna share briefly her bio, and but before I do that, Noel, thank you so much for accepting our invitation today, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Rose. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So guys, let me share information about Noel. She is a guru, a very, very big lady in the grand scheme of things. She's vice president of Canada Protection Foresters Financial. And she's been in the industry for many, many years. Can you count 1 decade, 2 decades, 3 decades? So this lady knows her stuff, and she's risen up in management hierarchy. And today she's gonna give us some goodies. So I'm really, really excited about having Noel here with us. Thank you so much. So now, Noel, thank you once again. Please tell us a bit more about yourself, and then we can jump into the topic for the day.
Absolutely, Rose. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Noel Mak. I'm a VP of Canada Protection Plan, and we're a company of Foresters Financial. Foresters Financial has been around in Canada for almost 150 years, and it is one of the oldest insurance company. And I'm very proud to be part of this amazing organization. Something that a lot of people don't know about Foresters Financial, we are a not-for-profit organization. So that means that we don't have shareholders, and we don't sell shares. You cannot go to the stock market, like stockbroker to buy our shares. And we have a huge mission to give back to local communities. So what that means is, for example, there are many schools from east to west coast. Their playgrounds are built with foresters funding, and on a regular basis, and we donate to many, many different organizations. And or we also, as a member, policyholders, they can also use some of the foresters money to donate to local charities for very, very good cause. So I'm very proud to be part of this amazing organization.
That's amazing. That's a lot of goodies already that we've got. Just your members get to give back to their charities. I know you offer scholarship foundations. Scholarships, and so we're going to talk about that. Yes. So one of the reasons I'm really excited about Canada Protection Plan is what separates you from the other insurance companies, and so let's talk about that. What are the things that separate you, make you unique and different from the other insurance companies out there?
That's a great question. And there's a mission that carry out between Canada Protection Plan and Foresters Financial that is very different than everyone else. Something that we're very proud of is Canada Protection Plan. Almost anybody can get insurance. If you are between the age of 18 to 75 years old, you can get a plan with us. It doesn't matter what your health conditions is. You could be a cancer survivor. You might have had to battle heart disease or many different illnesses. We have a plan for you, because our mission is, we believe that every Canadian has the right to protect their family. And a lot of them get shut down by traditional insurance company because of their health conditions or maybe their lifestyle. But with us, we have a plan for you. So we are able to cater to many, many different clientele in the Canadian market.
That is music to my ears, like big time music with drums and guitars and pianos and all of that. This is serious music. So what you're saying is that you can cover everybody. So the reason I'm asking, the reason I'm asking is because there are people in my community and my listeners worldwide. And I'm talking about, well, if we zero down to Canada and the United States, for example, who have been declined insurance by what you say call the traditional insurance companies. So for example, I have friends who had a stroke, who had diabetes, who are overweight, cancer survivors. Like my mom is a cancer survivor. I know she's over the age that you talk about, but you know, cancer survivors who do not have insurance because, like you said, their health conditions. So are you saying that these people can come to us now and we can help them with getting insured?
Absolutely. All the conditions that you just mentioned, we cover them all. Unfortunately, diabetes is something that we do see on a regular basis. And, you know, unfortunately, maybe it's the diet, the lifestyle, we do see that on a regular basis. We have many, many plans that we can cover clients with diabetes. As long as I mentioned, as long as their age is between 18 to 75, they would not be declined by us. We have a plan for you. Another one that we do see on a regular basis is mental illness. Because, you know, maybe because of the pandemic and maybe, you know, we're living in a world that a lot of clients are getting diagnosed with some form of mental illness. And again, those clients, we have a plan for you. Cancer survivors, as we all know, we see cancer. There's a case every day. Every few minutes, we see a cancer, someone get diagnosed with cancer in Canada. We have policies that we can protect them for them and your family. Rose, I have even better news for you. Not just life
I'm all
insurance.
ears. I'm just, you know, I'm
Yeah.
tingling here.
We're not limited to just life insurance. We also have something called critical illness insurance, or we call it a CI. What that means is if the client gets cancer or heart disease, and we pay them a lump sum of money. So we have the most generous guideline with our CI product in the market. So for example, you have a client that is a cancer survivor, just like you gave some examples before. Even though they come in, they cannot get cancer protection. There's a very good chance that they can get a policy that covers them for heart disease, stroke or heart attack, just to name a couple of them. Or clients that you mentioned that are, you know, overweight for different reasons, there's a good chance they can also come to us, not just to buy life insurance, also with a critical illness insurance product as well. So we have very comprehensive coverage, and we insure anyone between 18 to 75 years old, they can get a life insurance with us. But anyone over the age of 18, and there's a very good chance they can get a critical illness insurance with us.
Okay, so this is very interesting. So anyone between the age of 18 to 75 can come, you know, again, listeners out there, I work with Noel. So basically what's going to happen is if you are affected by some of these ailments and situations that she's talking about, you can come talk to me. I have agents across Canada and United States that can help you to get covered for, you know, if you're traditionally uninsurable. So this is Noel, 18 to 75. They can come if they're traditionally uninsurable with things like diabetes, cancer history, stroke history, all of that for life insurance. Now for critical illness insurance, you're saying that let's say somebody has had cancer before, they can get covered for things like stroke, heart disease?
They could, like, as long as they are able to answer a few questions related to cardiac protect, as long as they can truthfully answer no, they can come to us for a policy that would cover them in the case of a heart attack or stroke. And on the life insurance side, now you mentioned about US. Right now, even though Foresters does operate in US, but we only work with the Canadian division. So these products are available to Canadians.
Okay, so Canadians for now, and then we can hopefully expand into the United States later. Yes. But Canada for now, Canadians are so blessed to have Canada Protection Plan. So basically, tell me how. Okay, so somebody comes in, they apply. Is it guaranteed? Are they guaranteed to get coverage? Or are there situations under which somebody may still be declined depending on the severity of their situation?
Now, if they are, as I mentioned, if they are between the age of 18 to 75, we guarantee them they will have some form of coverage. The face amounts or the insurance amount might be different based on different plan, and the pricing would be different. So they would not get declined. We will make an offer of maybe not this product, but certain type of product. And the process is very, very simple. We mentioned about clients that would decline somewhere else. And there are a lot of cases that even though the clients may not have been declined by other companies, because there's a lot of medical conditions. And so if you go to a traditional insurance company, they may ask a lot of questions, getting a lot of reports from the doctors or labs, from different labs. Or sometimes they might ask for a driver's license abstract, and we don't request any of that information. So if you come to us, you fill out the application. There's only like 1 or 2 pages, very, very simple. The answers are very straightforward, and we can issue a policy very, very quickly in most of the cases.
Okay, that's great. So you just added some information. So no APS, which is the attending physician statement. Okay.
No, we don't ask for
no driver's abstract.
No.
How about criminal record?
Criminal record, we have a couple of questions related to that. So even though the client, let's say they just got charged for something, they have a plan. They can have a plan with us. But we do have 4 different types of plans within Canada Protection Plan. So it depends on how long they had the medical records, the criminal record, and so that would determine which plan, and that would determine the pricing or the maximum life insurance amount that they can apply for.
Okay. That, that's really great, because that basically covers everybody.
Pretty much.
Because I was a little hesitant to ask about the criminal records, but under normal circumstances, people who have a criminal history are uninsurable, period. Right? And especially, okay, one more thing about the driver's abstract. So like DUI, and they get insurance.
We do ask about DUI, but again, if there's someone just got convicted with a DUI, as I mentioned, as long as they're between the age, you're going to keep hearing me say that, between the age of 18 to 75, we do have a plan for them.
So I'm making it sound like a broken record because I'm asking things, bit by bit.
No, that's fine.
So even for DUI, they will get something. But again, listeners out there, what Noel is saying is that you are guaranteed to get insured, especially if you're traditionally uninsurable, but the amount is not guaranteed. So the amount depends on your answer to certain questions about, the severity of the illness, duration of maybe criminal records and stuff like that. So I like the word guaranteed, Noel. I like it.
Yes, I do too.
I like it. Okay, that's great. So now you've been talking, and I have made you sound like a broken record, sorry. You've been talking about the ages 18 to 75. So what about kids?
Right now, we don't have any plans for a juvenile policy. Now, some plans, they can add a children's rider to cover their children. But we don't have anything for kids with certain type of diseases. And the foresters banners we do, but those are fully underwritten. But Canada Protection Plan, the minimum age is 18 years old.
Okay. So the minimum age of the applicant is 18 years old, but children could be covered as a rider for the applicant.
Correct.
Okay. So then technically we do have coverage for children 0 to 17. But it's got to be as a rider for the older applicant. Okay.
And there will be an underwriting process, and they do have to be healthy to get.
So the children do have to be healthy. That's really where I was heading. The reason being that there's cases like kids' autism, stuff like that. Would you give a rider?
Not under Canada Protection Plan. But I'm very happy that you asked the questions, because we have something very unique under Foresters Financial. So under Foresters Financial, and we have a participating whole life products, that if the parents have that product, we can cover all their children for free, regardless of their health conditions, for $3,000. So that is a free insurance. So, you know, if they're autistic and or if the child unfortunately is battling like a major illness, they can all be covered under their parents' policy without any underwriting, without any additional cost for $3,000.
So for $3,000, that's $3,000. Is that a premium? Like, what is that?
No, it's the life insurance amount.
The amount. Okay, so
Yes.
up to $3,000.
It is $3,000. So it's
It
a
is
flat
exactly
$3,000.
3,000.
Yeah. So even if, you know, I hate to talk about children getting sick, and because I'm a parent as well, unfortunately, these incidents do happen. If you have a child that is battling a very major illness, and you know, we do hear cases where kids get diagnosed of cancer, as long as parents have a participating whole life with us in Foresters, this child is covered for $3,000 of life insurance.
Okay, that's great. That's really great, because so then every child could be covered under, number one, under their parents or some adult.
Correct.
But in addition, normally the children have to be healthy, but if the parent has a participating whole life policy, then their children can be covered for $3,000 regardless of their health.
Correct.
So
Absolutely.
autism, COPD, all of that will be covered.
Or even terminally ill, right?
Even terminally ill.
Terminally ill, yes.
Okay, I mean, that's the reality of what we do. We're in this business to save and help life, so that's good. So children can be covered by some workaround. Is there a minimum amount that the participating whole life has to be for the parents?
$25,000 of life insurance.
25,000?
Yeah, it's very, very minimal.
So it's really small. So if a parent has a child who is really sick and uninsurable, they can get that $3,000 policy by buying a whole life policy of $25K or more. That's fantastic. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Noel, for that. Now I want to talk about these scholarships. I love babies, and so whatever can help them get educated more and more. That's, I didn't get my PhD for nothing. I'm really interested in education.
Yes.
So tell me about the scholarship program that you have for kids.
Absolutely. So remember I mentioned that Foresters is a not-for-profit organization. So every year they set aside money for scholarship purposes, and we're very proud to be part of this, and because I have seen how the benefit being used by a lot of agents, a lot of clients, and in Canada. So when you have a policy with us, whether it's Canada Protection Plan or Foresters Financial, as long as the face amount or the life insurance amount is $10,000 or more, you can apply for complimentary members benefits. So basically all you have to do is just go to a website, punch in your policy number, your date of birth, set up a username, your email address, and there you have access to all the complimentary benefits. Now, there are many things that you can get. Sometimes you have a free movies in your neighborhood, and one of them that Rose particularly mentioned is what we call competitive scholarship. So each year, Foresters will put aside a lot of money and select students. 100 of them would be in Canada. And these are students going into university. So, typically they're about 17 or 18 years old, and 100 of them will get selected. Now, there are some criteria in place. They have to write an essay because they have to sell themselves, right? They have to present what school they're going to, what kind of program that they're going into. There's a combination of two things that we're going to look at. It would be their average mark. And the second one is, remember, Forest is all about giving back. Volunteers, we love volunteers. And then we also look at this young individual, how many volunteer hours that they have done in the last 24 months. So because of the mission of Foresters, we tend to pick the ones with the highest volunteer hours. And we have one client in particular that his oldest daughter got into the scholarship because the whole family volunteered every weekend in church. And his teenage daughters would be teaching some of the younger ones, babysitting them or helping them with their homework. So she has many hours accumulated, and she got very good grade, and she got into a local school right in Ontario, and she got selected for the scholarship. And the scholarship amount is $2,500 for 4 years. So that is a total of $10,000.
$2,500 for 4 years,
Yes.
$10,000 over the course of the child's education.
Yes, so for maximum of 4 years. Yes, so that means it's a total of $10,000. Now there's a little bit of like qualification. So because remember, we always want to give back to local communities. So in order for them to get the second $2,500 the next year, they have to keep their grades good. They have to maintain their outreach.
They have to maintain their
second, they have to continue with their volunteer hours. Right? We don't want them to stop just because they got the money. So they have to.
So it's not automatic.
It's not automatic. They have to prove that, oh, okay, I satisfy the my volunteer hours because I continue going to church and helping with the young children, or it could be a food bank, could be a local, community centers, whatever the case may be.
Okay, so let me just kind of summarize that. So it's a scholarship program of $2,500 each for Canadian children, 17 and above, maximum $10,000 over the 4-year whatever studies. And the renewal is based on maintenance of good grades and volunteer hours. Correct. In order to get in, the prerequisite is they have to have volunteer hours over the past 2 years. And then they also have to have good grades. And it looks like they have to be members, meaning that they have to be children of people who are members.
Actually, the way it works is if you're a member, you can use this benefit, or you can apply for this benefit for your children or your grandchildren. So even though you have a young adult and they don't have a life insurance policy with us, as long as mom and dad, either one of them have a policy, then they can apply for their children. And again, we also have an incident that we have grandma had a policy with us, and she applied for her grandson and got selected. And then a couple of years later, she applied again for her granddaughter and also got selected. So we have many, many success stories. And I wanted to share, I know, and and Rosa, I look like I'm blowing your mind.
This is great. You're blowing my mind. This is awesome because I'm, almost a grandma. Grandbaby's coming. And so I'm like, oh, okay. Yes. This is good for me because I was thinking, Noel, I used to think it was just for parents, like direct mom and dad. But I didn't realize that grandparents are included. So
particular benefit.
I'm in.
Yes, you are in. And I wanted to share with you, let's look at numbers. In 2022, with this competitive scholarship, we paid out over $1 million for these young adults and students to go to school. And I think that came in to help out a lot of children, a lot of students that are a little bit less fortunate that, that $2,500 came in really, really handy.
Okay. I mean, $2,500 is a lot. It can cover tuition.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's great. My buzzer went off, so that tells me we spent more than 20 minutes. But, this is... we can stay here and talk for the next half hour. We're still good, Noah. But this is so exciting. So listeners out there, so again, talk to me. I will basically connect you with my agents across Canada. Regardless of which province you're in, Canada Protection Plan will take care of you. And so if you're uninsurable, traditionally, this is really great. It doesn't mean that if you are insurable that you're excluded, because we have the scholarship program for parents and grandparents like me, so who can leverage the opportunity for scholarships for their children and grandchildren. So definitely I'm on board, Noel, and thank you so much. I was gonna ask one last question, Noah. So for people 18 to 75 who are uninsurable, there's this thing called, and this is in my community specifically, sickle cell anemia. So what could happen when somebody has sickle cell, things like sickle cell, and then there's MS, like multiple sclerosis? What kind of, what kind of, what kind of symptoms do they present? What kind of symptoms do they present? And what kind of treatment do they receive? 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 And what kind of treatment do they recei coverage can those people get?
Great question. We have quite a few clients that are battling sickle cell. It's considered a blood disorder.
Okay.
So as long as they can answer questions on the application, depending on how far along they can answer no, the best plan we have for them is something called Simplify Elite, and it can be up to $500,000. But of course, there is an underwriting process, and they do have to answer the questions on the application.
Okay.
And the same
But
with MS, multiple sclerosis.
okay, but they're still guaranteed some form of life insurance.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay,
as long as,
that's
again,
good.
between the age of 18 to 75.
Yes, that's the music. That's the music again. So really, basically, I think everybody is covered. You did mention one last thing. Sorry, I know my time is over now. I'm the one now pushing this video into 25 minutes. You mentioned mental illness, so schizophrenia, all of those things, bipolar.
Yes, I think the two most common I think we do see is depression and anxiety. And those clients can easily get insurance with us. And if they have a schizophrenia, psychosis, they can still get a plan with us as long as they're between the age of 18 to 75.
Thank you so much, Noah. This is cool. I started laughing again because I made you go back to that 18 to 75 again. All right, so listeners, you've heard it. Between ages 18 to 75, come talk to me, and I will help you with my agents across Canada to cover you with, whether you're insurable or not, and also to set up for the regular members scholarship application process, help you with that for all your children. So please don't forget to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. If you have listened to this and you have friends and colleagues who need to hear the good news from Canada Protection Plan, please share the video with them, help them to subscribe as well. And let's cover ourselves, and let's grant our children the permission, the opportunity to get those scholarships. Noel, any last words before we wrap up?
No, but thank you so much for having me. And this is a very great experience. And yeah, thank you so much. And thank you everybody for watching.
Thank you so much, Noel. Thank you. I'm gonna stop the recording now.